Exemplify Strikeforce as both are big-time strikers. This fight just may be short and sweet.
Buentello, heavyweight, San Jose, California. Pretty laid back, slow starter, but I got knockout power, very good speed, and I'm pretty agile for heavyweight. Carter Williams is a good matchup. I have to hit him first. So I'm gonna hit him as fast as I can, as hard as I can. So you hit the head hard enough, everything else follows. And it's gonna be a stand-up war. It's gonna be a stand-up war all the way. I put faith in my complete training. One thing you think you can land a big kick, before you know it, you're on your back. I want to leave everything in that cage and walk away with my hands up.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the cage, Paul, the Head Hunter Buentello.
Paul Buentello knows all about sacrifice. He left his wife, daughter, and stable contracting job in Texas so he could train under Crazy Bob Cook at the American Kickboxing Academy here in San Jose. The move paid dividends as he eventually fought Andrei Arlovsky for the UFC World Heavyweight title at UFC 55. And Bill, you'll be happy to know that he is still married.
It sure as hell has paid dividends. He has won the last 9 out of his last 10 bouts. He's an extremely heavy-handed puncher, one-punch KO power, and very underrated high kicks.
All right, we talk about this still being a fight. That's what he is. He is a fighter. He's a brawler. Not a very technically strong guy, but it doesn't matter. He gets from point A to point B better than most guys in this sport.
And the great thing for all the fans out there is Buentello hates boring fights.
He absolutely does. You're not going to see him right now in a technical masterpiece like a pitter-patter, one of these 12-round boxing matches. This guy comes in to throw bombs.
Well, he told us if he saw guys like Payne Pano and Jeff Monson fighting on his front yard, he'd call the police. Obviously not a fan of the ground game, but they don't call him the headhunter for nothing. Buentello's opponent, Carter the Beast Williams, has 4 career MMA fights. All have ended in the first round. Will tonight be number 5?
Carter Williams, heavyweight, Desto. This is my type of sport. Originally, I'm from the streets and I like to get down. It just comes to me and it's just natural. I do what I have to do. It starts off standing up and then sometimes it ends up on the ground. So you got to be prepared for whatever. I'm the younger fighter, the harder striker. Yeah, he's going to expect me to throw a lot of leg kicks, which I probably will. If I do have him go to the ground, I'll just do what I do best, my ground and pound. I see a fight being over within 2 to 3 minutes. I want to win this fight. I have to win this fight. Just going to see where I stand,
Now ready to help bring out our next fighter, Carter the Beast Williams, to the cage. Please welcome Zone 4 Interscope recording artist, Rich Boy.
Come on, hey, come on, yeah, hey. Pump talk or get to it, boy, look at here. Rich boy, really do it, boy, look at here. We can buy the bar all night, look at here. I can show you what a stand like, look at here. Pump talk and get to it, boy, look at here. Rich boy, really do it, boy, look at here. We can buy the bar all night, look at here. I can show you what a stand like, look at here. On top, I'ma tell you it's a pledge. A real pimp here now, better get your chick. Yeah, come big pimpin' in the high now. If you're real, then you know what I'm talking about. Rich boy, I don't know what he hate a thing. Better die, shoot a thigh with your boy brain. Coming down like snow in the wintertime. I don't know about you, but I'm getting mine. DIP never cold boy head, yeah. Zone 4 coin pour up in the ATL. Get money, I already know what it is. Hunt Jones style chick, what the business is. Get my head to the laser boy sofa. Keep my toaster warm in my holster. See you got your little jury, but I'm chomped out. All that hate play, boy, get your stomped out. Bump talk and get to it, boy, look at here. Rich boy, really do it, boy, look at here. We can buy the boy all night, look at here. I can show you what a stand like, look at here. Pump talk and get to it, boy, look at here. Rich boy, really do it, boy, look at here. We can buy the boy all night, look at here. I can show you what a stand like. Look at here.
Now I'm with
Top.
tight shirt with the
Cup length. See the big red stone make your eye blank. See I talk slow and I rhyme funny. But I ain't thinking about
Yeah,
nothing.
boy! That is Interscope.
Rich Boy's playing at you and Gina's wedding, isn't he?
Pardon me? That is the master of the beats, Rich Boy, giving way to the master of the beatings, Carter Williams, my friend.
To see what happens tonight, man. Carter has had his ups and downs for sure. He and I have been friends for a while, and I'm looking for him to break through, but which Carter Williams will show up?
We talked earlier about Buentello just being a pure brawler. Well, Carter Williams, a very technical fighter. You're going to see a lot of rhyme to reason to his strategy. He's not just going to go in there and try and make this a brawl. He's going to try and pick Buentello apart.
Hey, Jay, I heard you in the shower the other day, rapping to throw some D's. Zone 4 Interscope recording artist,
What were
Rich
you
Boy.
doing? What were you doing in my shower?
Jewish people don't rap, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much. Let's take you now
I'm not touching that.
to the tail of the tape, please. Carter Williams is 27, 6'1", 265.5 pounds with a Muay Thai and Western boxing background. His opponent, Buentello, is 33, 6'2", 250.5 pounds with kickboxing and submission wrestling in his arsenal. Let's take you to the rules of combat for this fight. 3 judges score the fight based equally on striking, grappling, effective aggression, and cage control. A 10-point must system. Each winner of the round gets 10 points. The loser, 9 or less. And because it's a Strikeforce matchup, no knees, elbows, or forearms to the head of a grounded opponent, referee or doctor can stop the fight. Let's take you now to the freshest man on the microphone, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Well, fans, Strikeforce presents heavyweights in the cage. We're scheduled 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring from cage side. From Florida, we have Richard Bertrand. From California, Nelson Hamilton. And also from California, Marcos Rosales. Introducing our referee in charge of this bout from Las Vegas, Nevada, Steve Mazzagatti. All right, fans, here we go. Introducing to you first, on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6 feet 2 inches. He weighed in at 250.5 pounds. Specializing in kickboxing and submission wrestling, his record stands at 22 wins, 9 losses, with 15 knockouts and 7 submissions to his credit. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former King of the Cage world champion from San Jose, California, introducing the hard-hitting Paul, the Headhunter Buentello. And his opponent across the cage on my right, fighting out of the red corner, standing 6 feet 1 inch. He weighed in at 265.5 pounds, joining the mixed martial arts ranks in the traditions of Muay Thai and Western boxing. His MMA record stands at 3 wins, 1 loss, 1 knockout, and 2 submissions to his credit. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former US K1 and World Muay Thai champion from Modesto, California, by way of San Jose, introducing Carter, the Beast Williams. Once again, here's our referee in charge, Steve Mazzagatti.
All right, gentlemen, you know the rules. We all expect a good, clean, fair fight. You need to obey my commands, protect yourself at all times. Hook 'em up. Good luck.
The fine folks voting at ProElite.com have voted 57% in favor of Buentello, 43%, make that 33% for Carter Williams.
That does not add up, my friend.
No, is it 43%?
I may have been hit in the head a lot of times, but that
Okay.
So it was interesting, guys. Right
I wasn't
before
at school that day.
Buentello looked across the ring and asked Williams if they want to tap gloves in the center.
Well, you know, the ironic thing is that Carter Williams, while he lives in Modesto, grew up in San Jose, but he's hearing the chorus of boos. But nevertheless, in this Strikeforce matchup, Bill, it's time to do some big game hunting. Buentello, Williams do touch gloves. This bout is underway.
Expect an exciting fight, gentlemen.
So for those of you that, again, did take calculus, it's 57% for Buentello, 43% for Carter Williams into the Greco-Roman clinch along the fence.
Surprisingly, it goes to the ground within the first 30 seconds.
And Williams
Carter lands a great right hand.
unloads with the rights as Buentello is surrendered his back momentarily, but back on his feet. But he's being overwhelmed right now by the bigger Carter Williams.
And that's not what you expect from a K1 fighter. K1, you expect him to come out, start throwing kicks. But Bill, you talked to his trainer right before this fight. What did he tell you?
He's been working with some ground guys. There's no question about it. He's been working on jiu-jitsu. And I thought Buentello would want to take it to the ground. But when they hit the ground, he was the first one that wanted to get up.
Well, at 22-9 and fighting for a UFC heavyweight title already on his resume, Buentello does have the MMA experience. But Carter Williams, at an 18-1 underdog, became the youngest ever K1 U.S. Grand Prix champion in 2003 and now has made the move to MMA.
And I tell you what, if I am Carter Williams, I do this. I try and keep it close. I don't want to be on the end of a brawler's punches. I don't want Buentello to be able to extend on me when he throws blows.
Except for the fact that Carter is a pretty damn dangerous guy on his feet.
Absolutely, but he's not. He has that. He has a definite deficit in height.
Williams and Buentello, not much of a difference when it comes to reach. Nice knee by Buentello from the clinch, trying to get dominant position along the fence. Creating the separation, though, was Williams with a knee of his own.
And we've seen Carter go the distance in his K1 fights, but the question is, does he have the gas to go the distance in an MMA fight?
Stop, guys.
And it's interesting. Buentello said that he changed up his training a little bit to try and strengthen his legs, thinking he's going to take a lot of low leg kicks. So far, only one. Not exactly getting what he expected.
2 minutes have elapsed, and Buentello told us that he watches the first 2 minutes of the fight to see how his opponent starts. Well, obviously he knows that Williams is not afraid to go for a takedown.
Yeah, one thing's for sure, Glaze, you were right. Carter did not want to stay at the end of Buentello's reach there. And now we got the guillotine.
He's trying to go for
finger guillotine.
Exactly. Good job by Carter Williams to pry those fingers off his throat.
And look what Carter's going for.
And again, because Williams is on the ground, no knee strikes to the head. Now he can deliver those multi-knee strikes. Williams comes back with a left hook. Not a lot of pop, though, behind it, Bill.
No, it kind of looks like Carter's a fish out of water here a little bit. Unfortunately for him, I don't know how long he's been working the ground game, but it's still pretty impressive that he's been able to tie Buentello up and not go to his back.
Who would ever thought that this fight would be dominated by the transition game?
Look at that. It was Buentello looking for the front sweep, and now the knee, and Buentello begins to unload on Carter Williams.
Buentello he's a crafty veteran. He knows how to dirty box. He knows how to mix it up in any position. When he gets in trouble, he can adjust.
Going in, they said that this matchup was one involving the technician Williams versus the puncher Buentello. Buentello by far Williams' toughest challenge in MMA to date, and he's taking the fight to him now with 1:40 left in the opening round.
See, look what Buentello does. And every time he can inflict damage, he does. He's trying to step on feet. As you see right there, he's trying to throw knees, trying for tie clinch, anything he can to inflict damage on a guy who has not been in a cage for 2.5 years.
And remember, Bill, at the outset, we said Carter Williams has never been out of the opening round. As this goes into deeper water, it obviously will favor Buentello when it comes to conditioning. Don't you think?
Absolutely, no question. I don't know what type of shape Carter's in as he lands a nice uppercut there, but I would think that he'd want to get it over as quick as possible.
Again, they're in the clinch along the fence, and this is where a lot of the fight has taken place. You see referee Steve Mazzagatti looking on. We are into the final 60 seconds of this opening stanza.
Buentello had double underhooks, and what that did, it get perfect position and allowed him to maneuver Carter Williams' head for those knees. Williams needs to get an arm inside to create distance.
And Buentello uncorked a couple of knees and begins to score again, and now shooting out the jab is Williams. But back comes Buentello into that clinch, and he's got the over-under on Williams now.
Buentello is an extremely crafty fighter.
Buentello realized that Carter Williams wanted to be in this position, so he turned it around into his favor.
Buentello also told us that leg kicks were going to be an area of concern. Thus far, we have yet to see Carter Williams go the leg route, Jay.
Well, he's been constantly engaged with him. And now look, he's going for his own guillotine choke there, Moro.
And Williams breaks away and starts to unload. Now they start to trade with 10 seconds left in the opening round. But again, it's very short exchanges, you guys, before they clinch up.
Well, it's good for Carter. He closes the distance and doesn't stay at the end of those punches. Tell you what, any one of those haymakers could put each one of them down.
And the round ends in a flurry. We go to round two, and for the first time in his MMA career, Carter the Beast Williams will see the second round.
Which one of us thought this one would go to the second round, boys? Let's check out here a replay, and folks, this is what you're going to see that Paul Buentello never thought he would see. a takedown by Carter Williams. He's a K1 fighter, which means he's a stand-up. Actually got a pretty decent sweep right there.
Well,
and immediately tries to push him to the cage and do some ground and pound.
Speaking of ground and pound, look at his trunks. I never would have thought a K1 North American winner would be wearing K.
Now you see Buentello trying to first for a guillotine, and he turns that instead, transitions to the knee strikes. But Carter Williams doing a good job getting out of trouble, popping the head up, and throwing a strike of his own. Now here, Buentello against the fence. Carter Williams trying to land an elbow there. And that right there, that shot by Buentello was the only shot, I think, of the first round where he was able to extend, get his arm, hip, legs, everything involved in a punch. That's why you haven't seen much damage.
All right, guys, round two. Bring it on. Come on.
We're going to see Carter Williams cardio right now, boys. Looks as if Buentello is fresh as can be.
And Buentello quickly
right in the eye.
a couple of uppercuts now and out. Hammer fist, and obviously Williams was hurt in the eye, and the fight has been stopped. Paul the Headhunter Buentello goes headhunting and collects his 23rd MMA win in front of a raucous hometown crowd. You know, Jay, earlier this year, Buentello was petitioning to get a fight against internet street fighting legend Kimbo Slice. Kimbo's going to be involved in a quote-unquote MMA fight tomorrow night against Ray Mercer. I don't know if Kimbo Slice wants any part of Paul Williams.
I don't think so. The great thing about Paul Williams, there you go. The great thing about Buentello here is look what he did. He got him with an uppercut there. That's really the first time we saw an uppercut in this fight. So what he decided to do is he went over to his corner and said, all right, these are working, these aren't working. Let me do some things now, bring him into the second round, some angles that Carter Williams has not seen yet. The other thing I could say is, just because a guy is a very strong K1 fighter, some guys it equates, like Mirko Krokop, Mark Hunt, Maurice Smith, and some guys it certainly doesn't, like, you know, Michael McDonald, you know, guys like that.
Stefan Blitzlako, I called his fights in pride, definitely was not made for mixed martial arts and yet has enjoyed a great career in K1. But Paul the Headhunter Buentello on his way again to wanting a shot somewhere for a heavyweight championship. Hopefully it'll be right here in Strikeforce.
And Buentello also shows how crafty, how much more crafty, how much craftiness really can beat the technical look. Check out a replay here. Carter Williams ducks the jab. The first time he ducked the jab, second time Buentello threw it just to get Carter to duck, throw that uppercut. You know what that is? That is just classic 1-2 combination, old school boxing. Have somebody duck under a jab, throw the uppercut. Let's take another look. Here comes one jab, he gets under it. Now he knows he's going to duck it, so he throws another jab, goes under, and then tries it again, lands the uppercut, 1, 2, 3. Obviously got into that orbital bone.
You know, Carter Williams had never been out of the first round in his MMA career. He only lasted 10 seconds of round 2. Does that count, Jay?
It counts. It counts. Hey, he had the minute break. I'm going to give it to him.
10 seconds of round 2 via TKO. Paul Buentello bags the Duke. Let's make it official with Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 10 seconds even in round number 2. Our referee in charge, Steve Mezzagatti, stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout, Paul the Headhunter Buentello.
Let's take you now to Bill Goldberg. I'm wondering if he's going to ask Paul Williams, who's next?
Headhunter, wonderful job, man. It doesn't look like you're too excited to win in front of your adopted hometown, San Jose.
Ontavi Mexicanos! You know, let's go out to my Mexican fans. You know, they're always messing with us, but I got your back, Mexicanos, got your back. Toda raza.
I thought you were speaking Hebrew there for a minute, man.
You know, it's great. It's great to be here in front of San Jose. Great love, baby, great love. I love it.
Did you think for 1 second that a former K1 North American champion was going to take you to the ground?
I had no clue on that. He took me down. It kind of startled me for a second, but this is my house, baby. My house. It ain't going to happen here.
You win 10 out of your last 11 fights. What's next?
You know, I'm right here at Strikeforce. They're going to bring me whoever I work. This is my job. This is my office. This is where I'm at. I want to give thanks to Designer Way, Gamma O, Posencia, Knox Gear, Bay Bets, Sacrifice Fight Gear, and Extreme Training Center. Go check it out.
You got it, man. We're going to go to the replay. We want you to talk us through it.
Let's be loud, people. Let's be loud on this replay.
There we go. There we go.
You know, I had to stay up strong with him, and I knew he's ducking a lot. So that's how I had to set him up with the jab and some uppercuts. That's my bread and butter is the uppercut. I didn't think he was going to go down. I thought he was playing possum, but, you know, it's a good shot. Love it for you, San Jose.
Bob Buentello, San Jose, congratulations, my friend.
And back here at cage side, Mauro Glazer along with Jay Ranallo. Sorry about that, Paul Buentello.
Who you get?
Yeah, Paul Buentello picking up the win, and Jay very impressively done.
Absolutely. You know, the great thing about Buentello is, we said before, sometimes in this sport, the experience, the craftiness, and just your pure brute force, that equates to a win. And you know what? We're going to see a lot of that later on also with Phil Baroni. Same type of guy, just a lot, you know, much better body and a lot smaller than Buentello.
And we got to give some props to the folks voting online at ProElite.com. 57% voted for Buentello. The majority of voters were right.
I voted for Paul Williams, just to let you know.
Coming up next.